Fox 5 Health News. Should you spice things up a bit when breastfeeding? Some experts say there is a benefit to the baby when nursing moms eat spicy foods.
Joining us now, Fox 5 medical contributor, Dr. Devi Nampiar-Parampil. Dr. Devi, should you eat spicy foods? It would be something I would think might be something you don't want to give your kids. I think might not like it.
Well, that's the traditional thinking, that you want to avoid spicy foods. But if you think about it, I mean, think about all these cultures, you know, whether it's South Asian, Latin American, or, you know, even American. So many people have a mix of spicy foods, right? But those babies tend to do okay and they still get breastfed. So the newer thinking is that perhaps it's okay, you know, that you don't have to worry necessarily that the baby's going to have problems with digestion. If you think about how spice works, like why people might have problems, there's something called substance P that gets released, so from your taste buds. And it's a chemical that's actually involved in pain, so it can cause pain and discomfort. But what'll happen is if you keep eating spicy foods, you run out of substance P. So basically that's why people who eat spicy foods all the time don't have any problems, whereas people who don't have spicy foods or people who have it after a long time suddenly feel some discomfort. So if you think about the baby, the worst case scenario is probably that maybe at first, if the breast milk is spicy, which I doubt because the spice doesn't necessarily get into the breast milk, but maybe they feel a little bit, they taste a little bit of spiciness at first, but then it fades away.
Gotcha. I was going to ask if there's a direct translation. If you eat something spicy, will that necessarily translate to the breast milk for the baby?
No, not necessarily, because just because it goes through the mom's gut doesn't mean it's going to get into the blood and then translate into the same thing in the breast milk. So it's not necessarily connected. And the same thing, even if the mom has a problem with spicy food, well, if she has gassiness or bloating, then she might not want to have them. But if she doesn't, you know, it doesn't necessarily cause a problem for the baby.
All right.
Keep eating spicy food.
Yeah, good deal. I mean,
as long as it doesn't
sounds like
bug
a good
you.
deal for the mom. You
Yeah,
know,
for
you
the
get to eat a little
mom.
more exciting food.
Yeah, change it up a little, right?
Yeah, there was one study in the past, it's an old study, but showed that maybe the baby likes garlic a little better. Like it might stimulate appetite, so.
Give everybody bad breath. All right, experts are saying that adding some protein in your diet could actually help you sleep. Now, I'm thinking automatically of like turkey making you drowsy. Is this a tryptophan kind of thing, or is it different?
Well, it's related.
Okay.
So actually, there are two parts to this. I mean, the key is weight loss, right? So the study that that we're looking at here, both groups lost weight. So these are people that were on a diet for strictly weight loss, whatever they had, and then another group that was on a diet that was higher in protein, and they also lost weight. So anybody who loses weight tends to have improvements in their sleep, and that might be because of medical reasons. Maybe they have less heartburn, maybe they have less fluctuations in their sugar that could interfere with their sleep. But in terms of what actually helps you sleep, it's not clear if it's the tryptophan or the type of protein, right? So tryptophan is a chemical that's associated with proteins. Now, there's been conflicting research in the past. So in this study, what they found was that people got better, and it might be because certain proteins have, like, let's say, dairy proteins or things in milk might help you sleep. But in other studies, if you had a big fatty burger right before you went to sleep, that might interfere with your sleep, but maybe it's the fat, not the protein. So it's a little bit of a, you know, you have to distinguish what actually is causing the benefit and what's causing the problem there.
Because I'd be reaching for the fatty burger, not the yogurt, right? Late at night, I'm not thinking like,
No,
yogurt.
You make really bad decisions late at night, typically, when it comes to food. But I can see the idea. It seems like you wouldn't be withdrawing from maybe less healthy foods. Like protein tends to make you feel more satisfied, and you sleep through the night.
Exactly.
It makes sense to me.
Sure.
You know?
And then the other factor there too is that there are studies that show that if people get overweight or have problems with sleeping in addition to that, that they actually lose some of their lean body mass, so the protein that helps them build muscle. So if the body is trying to compensate for that by holding on to protein, then maybe in those folks it actually helps them to sleep better if they get more protein. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody should suddenly be taking or using a high protein diet, but for some folks that have problems with insomnia, this might be something to look at.
Gotcha. All right, Dr. Devi, we appreciate it.
Thank you.